Eight. Oh my goodness. Hey everybody. Welcome to Yoga World Heart. Um, I've got a little bit of a rambunctious kitty here with me today. Oh my gosh, his little heart is beating like crazy. This is Iggy, and I'm hoping that he'll settle down and calm down a little bit while we are practicing. But he is a little bit of like he just needs that time. He's like a baby, right? He is a baby. He needs time to play and run around a little bit, and then he'll take a nap. So maybe that's what he'll do. So we're going to do a little bit of strength work today. Nothing, I don't want to scare you. It's still gentle, right? Still gentle yoga. But we're going to do a little bit of core strength, some glute strength. We'll do some deep stretch. Yeah, and just kind of see how it goes. Start on our backs and start with our legs over the bolster. And if you don't have a bolster, you can accomplish this with like a couple of blocks, maybe a blanket or two over the blocks to create a little bit of height. And the other thing I like about the bolster is having my feet free, right? My feet are dangling off the other end of the bolster. Okay, so, oh yeah, feels good to lie down. So let's just take a moment to realize how we change perspective when we move into our yoga practice and we lie down, close the eyes, and just signal to the body to take this new and different approach to ourselves and to the body. And we just turn inward, right? And if you're practicing with me real time or about this time, it's October 31st. It is Halloween today, so happy Halloween. It's also really close to big election here in the United States, and we've just got a lot of distraction, a lot of energy spinning around, and a lot to be distracted by. Of course, that's all the time, but it seems to be a bit heightened as we are in this time right now. All that being said, tomorrow is a new moon as well. So we're coming to the beginning. We are at the beginning of the new moon cycle, right? So we're moving into this new moon. It'll be in Scorpio, which is a water sign. Um, and just going with the flow, right? We want to be able to go with the flow. So settling your body, maybe moving your feet a little bit, maybe some point and flex, a little bit of circling through the ankles, and just taking your time to move your awareness down through the body and down into the feet. So circling around, changing the direction. And as you're circling your feet, notice any movement in the rest of the leg, up into the hip. Do you notice anything about the way the pelvis might rise and fall or tilt forward and back rather? Rise and fall might be in the low back and in the belly. Anything else about your body moving as you move your feet? And then eventually just get to that place where you are doing less and less and less, moving the feet less until you come to rest and just let your body settle. Let the energy in the feet and the legs settle. Maybe that helps you to feel more grounded and in the moment, in the present moment. Let's stretch our arms back over the top of the head. Just an easy stretch here. And keep the hands up away from the ground and start to circle at your wrists. All right, so circling around, taking your time, again, just like we did with the feet, just being able to send the awareness out of the brain a little bit, out of the thinking mind, and into sensation through the wrists, the palms, the fingers. Right? Circle in the other direction if you haven't switched already. And just take your time. As you are circling your wrists, do you notice movement in the rest of the arm? Is there a little bit of internal, external softness, straightening at the elbows? Whatever, anything at all, any kind of movement down in the body as well. Eventually, bring your arms back down and just let them rest, kind of in a V shape here, a little bit away from the body. Let the palms face up. So there's a softness in the palms, a soft curl in the fingertips. Let's bring our awareness right into the breath now. So take a big, deep inhale. And a long breath out through the mouth. So we'll inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Let's do a few more like this. So inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And as you're exhaling, can you pull the navel down toward the spine a little bit more to help you empty and to bring the tone into the abdominal muscles? Let's take a few more. Inhaling. Exhale it out through the mouth. Start to pull the navel toward the spine. And then one more. Inhale deeply. And let it out through the mouth. Navel moving back toward the spine. We'll stay with the breath out for just a moment. And then take a big breath in through the nose and then let it out through the nose. And we'll start to focus a little more on our ujjayi breathing here. So slight constriction at the back of the throat. You might have the tip of the tongue right behind the teeth a little bit, helping to aid that constriction at the back of the throat and controlling the breath in and out. In through the nose, out through the nose. So try to keep that ujjayi breathing from the back of the throat. Kind of sounds like a Darth Vader breath, right? We're going to bring the feet up on top of the bolster, if that's what you've got there. Try to separate the feet a little bit and let the knees fall together. So when we bring the inner thighs and the knees together, it's a, shortening, closing in a way in the front body, helps to open the space at the low back and the sacrum in the back body. All right, so let's let those knees fall together. Feet maybe a little bit wider than the hips here. And just feeling that movement toward the midline here. Couple more breaths. And you feel into that area around the sacrum, around the rim of the pelvis and the low back. Just letting that area open up. Eventually, we will walk the feet together and let the knees open apart. So now we move into the supported butterfly with the feet or the ankles supported on top of the bolster. So the knees kind of float a little bit here, right? So in this butterfly pose, just let the arms be in a comfortable position for now. I've actually got my hands on my belly and then allowing the opposite happening here, right? As we open the knees apart, that means the back body contracts inward a little bit, gets shorter, while the front body, as we open up the knees, there's more space. Okay, there's more space in the front body in the front of the hips. There's also a little kitty down in my butterfly, pretty much down there. Hey, buddy, little kitty, helping to do yoga class. So what we're going to do here is then open the arms wide like a T if you don't have them there already. And you're going to leave your left leg in that half butterfly. And we're just going to bring the right knee over, land that right knee on top of the left, kind of extend out, push out a little bit through the knees, and maybe reach your right arm back. So lengthening, giving a little extra push through the knees as we reach through that right arm and opening the right side of the body. We move this kitty out of the way so it'll roll over on top of him. So then keep the left leg where it is. Start to open the right knee back out into butterfly. Right, so here we are in the center butterfly. Now right leg stays open and the left leg is going to come up and over on top of the right. We're going to extend out through the knees, going to push out through the knees a little bit, and then maybe stretch that left arm back. Nice and long through the top side of the body. Find your breath, find that ujjayi breathing at the back of the throat. So again, stretching and opening these secondary breathing muscles. These muscles are part of our core, as well as that deeper effect on being able to breathe. And just open ourselves up here. We're going to bring that left arm back to the left. So leave the right leg in half butterfly. Let's make sure I don't have a kitty. Over kitty. Open the left leg back into butterfly. And then let's go back and forth a couple times like this. So right leg curl closes down over the left, little extension through the knees, and then open back out into butterfly. And close the left knee down over the top of the right one. Extend out through the knees a little bit. And then come back to butterfly. Close the right leg down on top of the left. Push out through the knees a bit. And then back through that center butterfly. Left leg crosses over or just closes down over the right leg. And then we'll just work our way back into the center here, back to butterfly. We're going to reach down. We'll curl up head, neck, and shoulders as we reach down and put the hands on the outer knees and then help the legs coming back together. Head and shoulders still up. See if you can squeeze the knees in toward the chest here. Good. We'll lay the shoulders and the head down. Relax the neck. Keep the knees into the chest here. So let's relax the shoulders and let the head rock a little bit from side to side. Work your way back to the center. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, curl up the head, neck, and shoulders here. And then we're going to keep the right leg into the chest and we'll extend the left leg way out over the bolster. Just let that left leg rest down. And then go ahead and rest the head and shoulders back down as well. And keep that right knee into your chest for a few more breaths. Ujjayi breathing from the back of the throat. Giving yourself something to do and to work on while you're here. Let's take a big inhale, and as we exhale, we'll curl our head, neck, and shoulders up again. Bring in the left knee. And then go ahead and move the right leg way out and over the bolster. And then eventually you'll lay the head and the shoulders back down again. And keep that left knee in toward your chest. Hug it in. Feel that nice deep hip crease. And then we'll take another big breath and we'll exhale and curl ourselves up. This time we'll straighten both legs out over the bolster here. And then just a couple of little pulses. Can you reach with your hands and pulse like you're going to touch the tops of your knees. Just pulse up and up. We'll do about 3 more. 2 and 1. And then bring the shoulders and the head down. And let's draw the knees back up into the chest here. We're going to open the legs out wide and come into a happy baby. So you put the hands around the backs of the legs here. You might reach up towards your feet or your ankles. Just open our knees out. Feet are active here, so we can point or flex or combination. We could do both. Sometimes I find that I like to just continue to move the feet a little bit. And then we're going to squeeze those knees together. Okay, we'll straighten our legs up to the sky here and reach the arms up to the sky as well. Think about like a dead bug. Can we make it dead bug since it's Halloween? All right, so here's what we're going to do. You're going to take that right hand to the front of the left knee, bend the left knee, and create some resistance. The right hand against the left knee. So we're going across the body. So you're going to push the knee against the hand and the hand against the knee. The right leg and the left arm are going to extend away from the core, reaching long, and then back up with that arm and leg. And we'll just do this a few times. So keep the pressure between the left knee and the right hand, and let the arm and the leg, opposite sides here, extend out and then back up. And we're trying to push the navel down toward the spine, keeping that low back really stable. Let's do a couple more. Extend the arm and the leg, keeping the pressure at the right hand and the left knee. All right, last one. And then we'll go back up into that dead bug place, right? Maybe shake it out a little bit. Does that feel like dead bug? And then let's change sides. Okay, so now we're going to take our left hand to the front of the right thigh, bend that right knee, create pressure between the right knee and the left hand. When you're ready, extend the right arm and the left leg away from the core and then back up. All right, so reach apart. Keep the pressure at the left hand and right knee. So drawing the navel toward the spine, we want to try to keep that low back moving down into the mat. And take your time. Stretch it apart, keeping that pressure between left hand and right knee. Let's do one more. Stretch it apart and then bring it back up. And we'll extend both arms, both legs up, give it a little shake, little dead bug shake. Yeah. All right, let's bring our feet back down onto the bolster. We'll slide our legs long and just maybe rock the body a little bit side to side here. Anything that feels good. Take a moment to pause then. Bring your arms down, let your legs rest. Take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Working that ujjayi breathing from the back of the throat. So what we've been doing is very much concentrated on tone for the front body, though you may have been feeling something in your back as well, right? It's kind of hard to differentiate sometimes, but let's focus in on the glute muscles, on the butt muscles, okay? So we're going to bring our feet on top of the bolster if that's what you're still working with. You can also use blocks. You could just have the feet down on the floor as well, okay? Arms are just in a comfortable position by your sides. We're going to focus on the lower body. So begin to tuck the tailbone under and feel how that moves your low back down into the floor. And then just continue to lift the tailbone up toward the backs of the knees. Squeeze the buttock muscles. And then just roll that right back down again. Release the tailbone, take a breath. Exhale, scoop up the tail, scoop up the hips, squeeze the buttock muscles as you raise up a little bit. And then roll the spine back down. Release the tailbone, take a breath. Exhale, navel to the spine, scoop up the hips, slowly squeeze the buttock muscles. Feel your ability to press into those feet. And then roll it back down. Breathe. Scoop it up. Take your time, squeeze, and try to work the right and left sides equally. Roll back down. Good. Let's do a couple more. So big breath in and then scoop up on the exhalation. Squeeze the buttock muscles. And think of engaging the hamstrings as well on the back of the thighs. Roll it down. Let's do one more. Scoop up, squeeze buttock muscles, lifting up, and then roll all of that back down. Good, and just take a couple of breaths. You can let the legs rest over the bolster. Good. All right, so let's roll ourselves off to the side. We're going to give a push up away from the floor. I want you to keep using the support here. Use the bolster or the blocks if you've got them. Even a couple of blankets work here. So we are going to stretch the side body and down in kind of a modified child's pose. All right, so I want you to aim the elbows on top of your bolster. You can put your hands behind your head if that works, maybe fingertips behind the head. And then you're just going to walk the knees back, push the hips back, let the forehead rest maybe on the bolster edge. If your arms are a little longer, your head might actually fall down off the front side of the bolster. And so here we just allow our side bodies to get nice and long. Letting the belly drop a little bit, so there's a little bit of arch through to the back. Nice deep hip creases. And then we'll straighten our arms out and start to pull the hands back flat on top of the bolster. Once we come up, we'll keep our hands on the bolster, so a little bit high through the upper body and round in here. Tuck the chin. Open up that space around the shoulders. Feel the belly drawing in tight. Good. And then we'll move into a cow pose here. Let's go ahead and tuck our toes under. Send the heart forward. Open the belly. Good. And then we're going to round back to a regular child's pose. We can maybe move that bolster off to the side. We'll come into a regular child's pose, except that I want you to round your arms back. Wrap your arms back toward your feet. So for me, that means that my pose is a little more narrow. My legs are a little closer together. Take a few breaths. Good. We're going to bring our hands forward and give a push up, but then come right back down again, all the way out onto the belly this time. So lay yourself all the way out and bring your arms forward. Maybe rock your hips a little bit from side to side. Let's bend the knees and have the feet up, and then let the feet fall from side to side. We'll find our way into the center here. I want you to flex the feet and think about lifting the heels. So if you flex the feet and drive the heels up, it's going to push the belly and the navel down. It's going to push the front of the hips down. make you grip the buttock muscles so that the knees and the heels lift off the ground here. Let's keep the gaze low, right down in front of you. And then relax all of that. Let the feet go from side to side a couple times. Big deep breath in, let it out. Come back to the center. Flex the feet. Feel your ability to drive the heels up, which pushes the thighs and the pelvis down. We pull the belly in a little bit. Let's keep the chin tucked toward the chest a little bit here. So long through the neck. Give it another couple of breaths. Feel into those buttock muscles working. And then relax the work. And again, let the feet just go from side to side here. We're going to do it one more time. Okay. Take a big breath. Let it out. Find your way to center. Flex the feet. Drive the heels up. Feel the buttock muscles engage, pushing the front of the thighs and the pelvis down. The neck is long here as we look down to that space right underneath the face. Give it another breath. Good. Let it go when you're ready. And then one more time, windshield wiper those legs from side to side. Nice work there. All right. So then let's go ahead and straighten our legs. Tuck the toes under, straighten the legs even stronger now. So grip through the thighs, feel the knees lift off the floor and drive again through the heels. All right, let's relax that work. Let the knees come down. We'll bring our hands back by our chest and give a push up and away from the floor. Let's just move right into a few cat-cows, okay? So we'll inhale here. Let the belly drop, gaze forward, tailbone lifting. Exhale, round. Feel your gaze draw back toward the knees. Press the shins down. Inhale for your cow pose, letting the belly drop. Exhale, round like a Halloween cat. Oh, yeah. Belly drops. Big belly on a cow, right? That's where that comes from, like a dairy cow. Exhale, round like a Halloween cat. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, round like cat. Good. Let's take our hips back toward our heels. Come into child's pose of your choice. Maybe you wrap the arms back like we did before, or keeping a lot of space in between your knees. Keeping that space for the belly to drop down in between. What feels best for your body right now? Good. We're going to bring ourselves up from there. So go ahead and bring the hands underneath the shoulders and give yourself a push up and then just right up onto the knees here. All right. So we're going to be on the knees for just a little bit. We're going to tuck the toes. If you need to grab a blanket for underneath the knees, go ahead and take that. All right. So toes are tucked. So we're really driving that length again through the heels and feeling really connected to the back body. Buttock muscles engage a little bit here. We're very squared off with the shoulders and the hips. Let's take the arms forward and then just start to drop the weight back just a little bit and then bring it back up again. All right, so I'm just going a couple of inches. I don't want to push myself too far. My body might go into, it might revolt, go into shock. Like, what are you doing with all this core work? So here we've got this nice long line, right, from the abdominals down through the thighs, buttock muscles engaged, getting a lot of stability out of the feet. Just drop back an inch or two. Doesn't have to be much to start to feel that intensity, right? Let's go two more. Drop back a little bit. Shoulders are relaxed. Hands are relaxed. Here's our last one. We're just going to take this into a half camel. Okay, so we're going to bring the left hand. Let's start with the left hand at the hip first and really thread that left thumb around so the elbow comes around behind you a little bit. We'll stretch the right arm up. Lean back just a little bit here. Some of you might actually bring the left hand to the left heel. See how that works for you, or keep that left hand at the hip, giving you a lot of support in that middle body. Don't underestimate the power of lifting through that top arm, how it helps you stay long through the challenging part of the body, the core. All right, and then let's come out of that, drawing our arms forward. We'll change. So right hand comes to the waist, left arm goes to the sky. So we're twisting a little bit and leaning back a little bit. Some of you may reach the right hand toward the right heel. Again, use that top arm to really lift yourself up and out of there and keep your strong legs, strong glutes. Last breath here. Then we'll bring our arms forward. Bring the hands into the heart center and see if you can just sit back onto the heels here. Nice. And then let's work our way into downward facing dog, okay? So bring the hands forward underneath the shoulders, maybe walk a little bit further out. Check my time over there. Yep. Toes tuck again and lift the hips and come on up into our downward facing dog. So we're going to do a couple of sweeping motions here. I want you to bring the legs really narrow. Let the right leg sweep up to the sky and then bring it down. Keep your strong press through your arms. Lift your left leg up and then bring it back down. Good. Change legs again. Right leg lifting. Keep pressing up, up, up. It's like you're pushing that floor away. Lift the left leg. Good. We're going to go one more time on each side. Right leg lifts. We're going to hold the leg up there for a moment. Circle that right foot around a couple of times. Other direction. Drop it down. And then one more. Lift the left leg. Circle the left foot around in the other direction. And then lower that leg down. Good. Let's ease our legs down, our knees down. And we'll take a moment to come around with the legs. Ooh, bring the legs out front. And then can we open to the side? Ah, that's pretty good, huh? Just enough core work. All righty. So how do you feel when you sit with your legs wide like this? Do you tend to round a little bit and need a little extra support through the back? If that's the case, or if you have low back stuff, so that's me, I'm going to reach over and grab my blanket. And I'm going to fold that once. Uh-oh. That stuff back behind me. I've got kitty stuff back behind me. Don't want to knock anything over. All right, so a little bit of height. Oh, that makes a big difference for me. Okay? All right, so legs are really active here. We got knees and toes facing toward the ceiling, kind of pushing the thighs down into the floor again and extending out through the heels. We're going to bring the arms out to the height of the shoulders here, just soft palms. I've got my palms facing up, soft elbows. We'll take a twist toward one side and then to the other. And just let a little fluid motion happen here. Just side to side with our twisting. As you're twisting, continue to feel you're pulling up out of your core. Hi, kitty. Kitty's here. Let's hold to the first side, first twist. All right, reaching forward with the front arm, reaching way back with the back arm. Let that help you to revolve a little bit more around. Good. As we change sides, we're going to come through the center. So lift the arms up and rotate around, and then just bring the arms down to about the height of the shoulders. Reach long with your front arm and reach back with that back arm. See if the arms help you to actually find a little bit more rotation around. As we switch, we'll let the arms go to the sky, take it around to the other side. Reach through the arms. So really energetic through the legs, through the spine, through the arms. Come through center, lifting up, and around you go. Last time into the twist on this side. Knees and toes feel still facing up, driving through our heels a little bit. And then again, come through the center, lift, lift, lift. Lift out of those hips as much as you can. Try this. Can you bring the palms together? Bend the elbows and bring the hands down behind the back of the head, a little bit like we were doing when we were on that bolster. And then just really lift through the elbows. A couple of breaths. I've got my head sort of pressing into like the middle of my forearms or maybe a little bit closer to the wrists. Got a lot of work in the core. Nice. And then we'll just let that go. Let's fold forward. Now, if your bolster is close by and you want to use that for support, I'm going to use mine. I'm so dark. I don't know if y'all can see. I've actually got a bolster. I'm wearing a lot of black. But I'm bringing that bolster in close to my body. I'm going to cross my arms over the top and then just lean over it. Take some softness. I'm going to let the knees be real soft. Maybe flip-flop the legs a little inward and outward. Where can you let go of any stress? Where is there still a lot of sensation? Are things dissolving and kind of bringing you back to a place of a more neutral place, I guess. Smooth breathing. Last couple of breaths here. Just let your body rest. Good. And we're going to bring ourselves up from there. Good. Maybe move that bolster back off to the side. And if you've got a strap, we're going to come back down on our back and we'll use the strap a little bit to further stretch and open up the hips. So let's haul those legs in. And then again, grab a strap and bring yourself on down. I'm going to keep that folded blanket just under the back of the head. Come on down. Oh, you know what we can do too? We want a little more core work. Just taking that really slow, unless you're already there. You take it really slow and lay back down on your back. And then reach around there and grab that strap. Let's open it. So if you have a buckling strap or you've got the D-ring, you could work with a loop, a big loop. Right? So then we're going to take both feet up into the strap. And so it depends on what you like to work with here, right? If you want to hold on with both hands, you don't need a loop, but sometimes the loop is nice. We can thread the arms inside the loop, right? So the forearms and the palms come together. You see the strap is at the crook of my elbow. Just holding those legs. So it creates a little bit of tension and actually less work on me. The strap takes over some of the work, right? So it's less work on the body. When you feel ready, let's leave the right foot in the strap. And then we'll bring that left leg down. Just bring it all the way down to the mat. Keep working the right leg now toward the face, toward the chest. Stretch through the back of that right leg. Stay pretty active in both legs, active through the feet. Still that ability to kind of drive through the heels. Part of being connected to the heels is that it connects us into the femur head, into the head of the femur, into the hip socket. Good. Let's move that leg away a little bit. And in this place, you may want to hold on rather than having your arms threaded into that loop. Maybe go ahead and hold on to the loop. We're going to take that right leg across the body over toward the left. So we're going to get a deep stretch through the outer seam of the leg and into that glute muscle. Try not to overdo it though. I think it's easy to overdo this stretch. So you might even back yourself out of there just a little bit, making sure you can still breathe, you still got sensation. And then we can work, instead of dropping the leg further, what if we work with the foot? And we let the foot pronate and supinate. So it kind of turns inward a little bit. So it's like the sole of my foot is pointing toward the left side. And then I can spin it the other way, allowing the sole of the foot to point kind of away from me. Right? And so you might move the foot around a little bit and find some different areas to stretch. Oh, yeah. It's amazing how tight it is all the way up through the shin, especially through that outer shin. And just find a place where you can hang out a little bit. If you're starting at any time, you start getting pins and needles and too much sensation, then back that leg out of there a little bit. You might be too far. Okay. All right, so let's just give it another couple of breaths. Go back to that ujjayi breathing. And then when you feel ready, we won't stay as long in this one, but we're going to open this right leg out to the right. So switch your hands on your strap to the right side. Let the left arm come out to counterbalance and just open that right leg out to the right. Couple of breaths just to give us some balance here. Move it around any way that feels good. And then eventually we'll bring that leg back up. Let's take the strap off and float the right leg down and just take a moment to feel the difference between sides. Is there anything that you can notice about sensation through the right side compared with the left side? And then eventually we'll bend the knees. We're going to take the strap over both feet again. So we're going to start the same way we did the other side. Both legs extending up. Maybe threading the arms inside that strap loop again. Take a couple of breaths with it. You want to feel nice and even across the back of the hips here. So eventually we'll leave the left foot in the strap. And we're going to take that right one out. And we'll float that right leg all the way down. Feel the touching down, right? That grounding effect. Draw the left leg towards you a little more, towards your face, towards your chest. Just opening up through the back of that leg. You can move the foot in any way that helps you create more sensation, more or less sensation. Finding different areas to work with. Use your breath as well. Find the ujjayi breathing at the back of the throat. Good. Let's take one more big breath. Exhale it out. Back off that stretch a little bit. Maybe bring the hands back to the loop or to the strap in any way. And then we're going to cross that leg over the body toward the right side. All right, this leg is tight in a different way. My left leg tends to be tighter, closer to the hip. My right leg tends to be tighter, closer to the knee. So interesting to be able to feel that sensation It's something we might not normally be able to be aware of, but in yoga class, we move slowly, we move gently. You can really find places in the body where things are happening. Things are happening. There's sensation, there's information, there's education, there's knowledge. Okay. So like we did on the other side, try not to drop the leg over too far and be, really anxious to get that leg down, but rather bring it up a little bit where there's a little more space, and then work with the foot. Let the foot fall inward and then push outward a little bit. So pronate and supinate, so that you just change up what is happening all through that leg, through the inner and outer seams of the leg. And then it's not just the upper leg that we're working with. We're getting a lot out of the lower leg as well. Right? Find a place where you can hang out and be still for a few breaths. Ujjayi breathing, back of the throat. If it gets more and more intense, you might be backing off of it a little bit. Sometimes our stretches or deep stretches can get more intense. And if that's the case, take more support or back out. When you're ready, we're going to take just a brief opening of the leg out to the left. So we'll switch our hands on the strap, take the left hand to the strap, open the right arm to the right for counterbalance. Let that left leg open out any amount. Move it around in any way that helps you feel around in that hip socket. And then just ground yourself, right? No forcing, but just staying low and connected to the floor as much as you can. Yeah, notice if that right hip is lifting up. I'm going to try to keep that right hip down without forcing anything. Keep breathing. When it feels pretty even, things feel pretty balanced, we're going to bring that leg back up. We'll take off the strap and ease that leg down. Oh, and just move your strap off to the side. Take a moment to let your legs rest. And then what do you notice? Does the body have a little bit more symmetry to it in sensation, in grounding? We'll smooth our breaths. Alrighty, so any other moves, postures, stretches, anything at all that you want to do with your body before you're ready to take a little Shavasana rest? Move and shift your body in any way that feels good to you. And then commit yourself to resting, to Shavasana. Let that rest be in any way that suits your body. If you want to take support, you've got the bolster around, the blocks, you can use those for support. I'm actually going to move myself back into that constructive rest where the feet are a little bit wide of the hips and the knees falling together, hands resting on the belly. So I'm going to stay in this constructive rest for a little bit, see how my body responds. And then laying everything out. How does it feel for you? How does the body feel for you? Where do you notice sensation? And what's up with that sensation? Is it something that has a negative value to it? Is it a good? Does it have a positive value to it? Can you just be with whatever it is and not attach a value? That might be asking a lot. So wherever you notice sensation, How does it change as you lie down and you let your body rest? Does the sensation start to dissolve? Does it move to somewhere else in your body? Or does it just dissipate all together until you're in that place where you can really rest and drop back, go inward and downward deeper into the body, away from the physical sensation and more down into the energy and into the breath, down into that place of observation, gentle observation. And then continue to allow the breath and the body to just settle you, to relax you. Allowing the lines to blur. That you can relax again through all the parts that you've already let go and relaxed. Go again, go in and go into a deeper layer of those areas. Let go under the surface of the skin. Imagine maybe with each breath, with each exhale, you're soft enough and in touch with the body enough that you can take another level, another layer deeper. You can go down another layer deeper. Observe whether your mind is willing to go into those spacious places. Or does your mind want to stay on the surface with thoughts, with distraction? Where are you able to be? Where are you able to be in the body and allow the body? Can you let go another layer? You drop back and down a little bit deeper, a little darker, into a safe, quiet, dark space. Do you feel safe going down deeper into those darker places within? And I don't mean dark as in negative, I just mean dark as in no distraction, spaciousness, a place of just sort of free floating. One of my favorite teachers would say to us that she wanted us to have 20 minutes of still, dark, and quiet. Finding that space within yourself, still, dark, and quiet. And I'm going to add in there
Comfort. You're comfortable there. Feel supported there. You feel content. Maybe that's it. Content to be there. Santosha. Contentment. So keeping a gentle awareness on yourself. All the different layers you've been exploring. Gentle awareness. And over time, begin to breathe a little bit deeper and let the breath draw you back up out of that darker space. Bringing you back up to the surface, back up to the light. Maybe able to look at your life and all that's in it with different perspective, different eyes. Continue to bring yourself up and out of your rest, moving and shifting in any way that feels good to you until you're ready to roll to your side and spend as much time in transition here as works for you, feels good to you. Work your way back up to a seated position when you feel ready. And just take a couple moments to acclimate into this upright position. Feel your tall spine, right? So moving down into the hips that we've been working. Feel our strong core center that helps us to sit even taller. And then just being really sensitive to the breath, feeling the rib cage expand and contract as we breathe. And feeling into the wholeness of ourselves here, body, breath, mind, and heart, all together as one. Let our hands come together at the heart center. Bow the head to the heart. Take a moment for gratitude and honoring yourself and honoring this time and this practice that comes to us. Such a good thing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Let peace begin with me. Namaste. Thank you so much. Just a quick reminder, I'm not sure who has been alerted to this or has alerted you to this, but this class is moving from Thursday at 4:30 to Wednesday at 1 p.m. It'll still be gentle yoga, but we're going to move it to Wednesday at lunchtime at 1 and see how that works. You'll still be able to watch the video whenever it's convenient for you, but maybe you can make it to a 1 o'clock in person. So I'll talk to y'all soon.